Hey guys, it's your girl Shavonne. Thank you for tuning into my channel, Bohemian Soul. As always, much appreciated. All right, y'all. I'm back here with another reading. So today, this reading, I'm going to focus on past relationships and where you might have went wrong in those relationships. Sometimes I sit here with the cards and I'm like, okay, let's figure out what we might have did and what was our role. Because, we all tend to think that every time we get hurt in relationships, we feel that, it's easy to blame it on someone else. And don't get me wrong, people, those people have their parts in whatever went wrong as well. But sometimes, like, especially speaking for myself, I look and I see repeated patterns and, situations with different people, but just like kind of like the same scenarios popping up. So I'm like, at some point, like, I clearly need to address what I might be doing wrong, because if I want to grow from this and do better, I have to be able to like face myself. It's hard because we always want to put ourselves in like this almost like perfect light, as if we can do no wrong, or we're just too good, or whatever the case is. But the truth is, we all have things about us. I try not to look at it in the sense of like right or like wrong, because the truth is, we just have an experience and we're trying to like learn and hopefully do better. So today's card reading, I'm going to focus on maybe some past issues that we all might have went through in relationships. Where did we go wrong in these issues, and how can we remedy just what we can do to like just do better, so that way we don't keep on repeating past issues, right? So this first card I drew, this is the 10 of Pentacles. However, I drew this card in reverse. I feel like a lot of us have a knack for believing that when we meet somebody, like the first person that we meet off the bat, we're like, okay, this could be the one, or I gotta treat this like the one. And maybe this person is who I'm gonna marry, who I can have like a family with, and the dogs, the picket fence, just have like a complete all-around relationship with. It's almost like, especially for me, I know I do this a lot, it's almost like you put somebody so high up on a pedestal that you miss key points, you miss red flags, So it's definitely something that you want to look out for. I have tendencies of being very romantic and impractical, right? Because like for me, like I love the idea of romance and love and all these things, like, so, especially for women, we're kind of taught to believe that the first guy that approaches us that shows interest, I don't know, we kind of like take, if they're stepping up to the plate, we kind of just take to it, whereas guys are a little bit more free to be like, oh, let me date around and see what I really like, So I think specifically for women, and this can be for men too, it just depends on the situation, obviously. If you have that in you where you're like sort of romantic and like, but also impractical, take time, take it very slowly. And let's say, for example, you do meet someone that you think might be the one, or you think might be worth your time. Ask trusted friends, because sometimes, your own judgment for your own situation is harder to see it, believe it or not, because there's emotions that are involved in it. So if you have trusted friends, people that that will give it to you straight up and tell you the truth, and not, be on some, some hateful or envy stuff, like, ask them, see what they say. Check in with your intuition also and see how you also feel about it, which leads me to the next card. I drew the Knight of Swords. I drew this in reverse. Don't be so quick to jump into things, take your time. A lot of us, we want to dive deep, because we see this idea of love through Instagram, through Facebook, all these different sources, and we're like, yo, I want that to be me. I want to have a vacation so bad. You know what I'm saying? You want to have all these things, and you want it to be beautiful, and I get it, because like, I feel like life is just nice to be able to share it with somebody. Like, it could be really amazing thing. Love can be very amazing, but we also got to be realistic about the love and also manage your expectations, because everybody ain't gonna be what you really want them to be. You know, don't look at them through the lenses of who you are. Look at them through the lenses of who they are. See who they are. Take your time to really view this person. You know what I'm saying? Like, and date around. That's for women, men specifically. I can't even speak. Specifically for women, because we have tendencies of just sticking to one and that's it. Date around. I was gonna mention something, but I wasn't sure if I should. But like the whole thing with Lori Harvey and people going around talking mad smack about her because she's been dating a lot of dudes. And in the back of my mind, I was like, yeah, I think that she's doing it right. She's doing it right. Don't get me wrong. Some of the dudes out like Future, I'm like, but you know what I'm saying? But she's doing it right. Date around, because you don't know what you need or what you really want if you don't have like a, you know, a compare contrast, you know, like really see where these guys are at. You know, you gotta like actually date around. Same thing for men. Date around, and don't just, and when I say date around, I mean don't sleep around. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like actually date around and get a feel of people. See where they're at, you know? Ooh. So this next card I drew is Queen of Swords, and the first thing that came to my mind is I'm thinking icy, you know, like kind of like, and this might be for some of us, like definitely like there could be a level of being like closed off or like judgmental. You don't want to judge people too soon, because you also don't know where people are coming from and what they might have been through. And also this could be suggesting to really mentally, like, you know, pay attention to what's going on and you know, analyze, but also be very considerate about how you analyze, because sometimes, you know, we expect people to be just like us. You know, again, you're dealing with someone who is who they are. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to put certain qualities on these people, you know. You want them to be who they are so you can really see them and really determine if, you know, that's for you. Ooh, I feel like this one wanted to pop. Yo, I swear. This card comes out lately. This card has been coming out a lot. My last video, this came out as well, the Lovers. Oh, wow. When I look at this card, the first thing that comes to my mind is let love in. Sometimes we tend to be emotionally closed off. And you think you want something so great. You think you want to love so great, but you're not even there yet. You want to make sure that before you meet whoever you're meant to meet, that you've addressed things within yourself as well. You know, you want to make sure that you have space in your heart to be able to let someone in, you know? I definitely get I feel like you gotta believe you the shit too. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes we walk around with all these insecurities, like we worried about what we look like with our makeup off, we worried about what we look like with our hair if it's not done, or like all these things. And to be honest with you, someone who's really for you won't care about none of that stuff. But which is great, but you also have to be comfortable within your skin too. Because it would suck to be with somebody, but you feel like you can't be yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe we've been in relationships where we felt like we couldn't be ourselves, where we feel like we couldn't let our hair down, you know what I'm saying? Let our gut hang out. Like, you know, like you gotta be comfortable to be you. And if you are with someone and you feel like you can't be comfortable with them, there's two thoughts that come to my mind. My first thought is thinking that, you know, maybe it's something about, it might be within you first. Because like I said, you might meet someone that doesn't care about any of that stuff. But if you care, then it's just like, you know, you got to address that. Or you might have been with someone that was very critical. Because I've definitely talked to some guys, or, you know, whatever. Like we've been with people that definitely have made you feel like, Oh, I don't like when women have their hair like this. I don't like when women wear weave. I don't like when guys are this, or I don't like when guys are that. Like, we have so many expectations, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. But, make sure that you're living up to your end of these expectations as well, if you have those kind of expectations. But also, like, I don't know, like, don't be so harsh, like, because who might be meant for you might not look anything like what you have pictured in your mind, and you might be missing out on the greatest thing ever because you was thinking, all these wild things. I got the Three of Wands, and this makes me think that again, this goes back to the Knight of Swords. I was thinking about patience and don't wait for love. Let it come to you. Like, a lot of the times, we want love so bad that, like, we don't even give it a chance, that as soon as the first person comes knocking, you jump into it. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, it goes wrong. Of course it did, because you ain't even wait. It might have been the next motherfucker that was coming, and you just jumped in on somebody else that wasn't even, you know what I'm saying? They was a distraction. They was the test. Just, wait, give it a chance, chillax, y'all. Like, I get it. Like, people, especially when we start getting older, I feel like it hits you like around like late 20s, 30s. You start thinking like, damn, like, I feel like I should start settling down. You know what I'm saying? Like, you start to get like those feelings inside of you or whatever. And I get it. It is what it is, However, I do feel like, don't let these relationships don't let them identify you. You are not the relationship. It can be an extension of you. This person can be a part of you, but they are not you. When you get into these relationships, you need to remember that you are still your individual self. It's not this whole you and I thing, like, us together, like we do everything together. I mean, maybe to an extent, but you are still you. Do not lose yourself in these relationships. I've seen so many people start off being like, oh, I'm doing this with my life, I'm doing this with my life. And as soon as you get the whiff of somebody, like, all of that's out the door. Do not lose yourself in people. Okay? Do not lose yourself in people, because that's just not where it's at. This card always scares a lot of people, the Death card. Does not mean that you're dying. Basically, there's a rebirth that might be happening. So you know what? Even though we've been through some of us maybe have been through a lot of like messed up things as far as relationships have gone. You needed it. You needed it because you needed it to help you understand what it is that you do need and what you don't need. And the older you get and the more experiences that you have, you begin to like really shape yourself, So that young person that you were when you started dating or, being in relationships, that person should be no more. That person should have died. You know what I'm saying? Like, that person should be no more. You should be a whole new transformed person. You know what I'm saying? You should have a whole new idea, an outlook of what your relationship should look like. You should be focusing on you first. You are always first. Okay? Everybody else is second and the third. You are always first. Don't forget that. You first. Anything bothers you, you let that person know. Anything that needs to be discussed, whatever, you discuss it. But you first. And life is filled with lots of transformations, you know what I'm saying? And, there's pain in it and there's beauty in it. But, when we really want to achieve something, even whether it's relationships or not situationships, but relationships or like even work things or whatever the case is, like there has to be a lot of growth. You have to let go a lot of things in order for you to grow and understand. So, yeah, like, man, I feel like a lot of this is definitely me. Just rushing into stuff. This is me. Like, okay, I like you, let's go. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's take our time through it. Like, it ain't no rush. It really ain't. Because you know what, no matter what, like, a lot of the times too, like, I feel like people want to be in relationships because they think someone's going to make them happy. And then when that person leaves, they're not happy. So they really associate their happiness with this person, but it's not true. It's because you're looking outside of you for the happiness. And it's kind of cliche, but it's also like when you get closer to what you really need, you'll start to hear a lot of the same things more. That happiness is not outside of you, you know what I'm saying? And you should wait for love. Wait for love. Because sometimes we get into situations, relationships, whatever, and we settle and you miss out. You don't want to start all over again. You feel like it's difficulty, it's wearing and tearing on the heart. And I get it. You don't want to have to go through that again. But yo, that's settling. Whew. I can't tell you. I sometimes I sit down and I look and I be like, man, yo, that really sucks, yo. That really sucks that she was sitting there dealing with that. But I ain't judging because I've been there. I hope my bra was not showing, but if it is, hey. I'm gonna draw some lovers oracles. I was gonna do these other cards, but I think I'm gonna do some lover oracles. I feel like it's fitting for the topic. Let me see. Yo, these cards are so hard to shuffle, believe it or not. Whoo! I don't know if y'all could see that. Hold on. What did I just tell y'all? Wait. Literally. That's the first card that dropped out. Wait. Don't rush into it. Allow nature to take its course. That's crazy, y'all. Okay. That was the first card. The next card, I really love these cards. They're so cute. This one says healing. Imagine yourself and your beloved surrounded by light. Feel your relationship being healed this very moment. Again, you know, we've all been through trials and tribulations and some deep hurts dealing with, some really deep hurts dealing with relationships and, you know, what we thought it should be and what it wasn't, you know, and how hard it was to like try again. But there's healing in waiting as well. This next one that I drew, this one says, manifesting miracles. Your dream is soon to become reality. Trust your heart and continue to follow its guidance. Ooh, I love that. I love that. That is my reading for today. I hope that it resonated with you. If not, hopefully it resonates maybe like later on. You know, sometimes like you listen to things, especially dealing with like spirituality, and like it doesn't always apply, you know, and that's okay. There's no, you know what I'm saying? There's no right or wrong when it comes to, you know, these topics. And then sometimes you go back on things and it's just like, oh, it's for now. Now it's for it. Now it relates. Now it resonates or whatever the case is. So, you know, if it doesn't, like I said, hopefully later on. If it does, leave a comment. Tell me how you feel about the reading. And also pass the message along to someone else that might be interested in hearing this or that you think might need to hear this. As always, thank you guys for tuning in. And I wish y'all all the best. Take care.